Every few years, I see a bunch of headlines about how chocolate is gonna go extinct in X amount of years, which is always a little panic-inducing because of my love of chocolate. It's one of the reasons why I started thinking about a chocolate alternative. So is it going extinct? Well, that's a little nuanced, but probably not. So why are people saying this? One, climate change. Cacao trees are very picky about where they grow, typically within 20 degrees of the equator, within hot, humid, and stable conditions. Rising temperatures and shifting rainfall patterns are threatening ideal cacao growing zones, especially in West Africa, where over 60% of the world's cacao is produced. And two, cacao is really vulnerable to several very aggressive diseases like frosty pod rot, witch's broom, and black pod disease, which all sound like they came from the Harry Potter series, but are very real diseases. These diseases can wipe out entire crops and devastate local cacao economies. But institutions like UC Berkeley are working on genetically modified cacao trees to make them more disease resistant. New farming techniques are being promoted to protect trees from harsh sun and improve biodiversity. And some companies are developing a cell-cultured chocolate, or chocolate made from other plants, to reduce reliance on traditional cacao. Which is great. These techniques are needed because along with climate change and disease, the increase in cacao consumption around the world has led to a massive spike in child labor. The most recent statistic I could find showed that over 1.5 million children were involved in cacao production, and 43% of their involvement was in hazardous activities, like in burning fields, using sharp tools, or dealing with hazardous chemicals, which is insane and awful. Now, I know that there are good people trying their best and working on all of that, but some of the biggest brands like Mars, Nestle, Hershey's, Mondelez have been criticized for not fully addressing child labor in their supply chains. So why not have an alternative that could be made now? A few years ago, I remember reading some chocolate instructions about making chocolate directly from the pod, and one of the descriptions said the cacao bean is fermented similar to tempeh. So I thought, why not make it from tempeh?
If you don't know, tempeh is a fermented soybean cake. It's made by fermenting soybeans with a mold culture, which binds the beans together into a fermented cake. It's very tasty.
Now, this is just a test. I don't think my test is going to solve any world problems. I'm not saying that. This is a fun test, a fun experiment. We are going to be using cocoa butter for the fat for this test, but I do have some ideas for the future. I just wanted to see if this would come out. My parents are in town. They're going to make some great taste testers, so let's get moving. Let's make chocolate from tempeh. Okay, first things first, we have our tempeh. I'm gonna be using 2 packages of tempeh, 8 ounces each, so it's gonna be a pound of tempeh. So all we're gonna do is just open up our tempeh, cut these into small, maybe ½ cubes. If this comes out, I have some other ideas. We'll actually start a little bit more from scratch. Now, my air fryer has a dehydrator setting. I know a lot of them do. If you have a toaster oven, a lot of toaster ovens have a dehydrator setting. If it doesn't, if you don't have a dehydrator or you don't have something with a dehydrator setting on it, then just set your oven, toaster oven, whatever you have on the lowest heat you can. So I'm gonna throw these into my air fryer. It's 150 degrees. We'll let them go for about 2 or 3 hours, which is plenty of time for today's sponsor. The weather is starting to heat up, and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Miracle Made sheets are inspired by NASA and use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulating, so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. And the infused silver actually helps prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth. So it leaves your sheets feeling cleaner and fresher 3 times longer than other sheets, along with being luxuriously comfortable. I love these sheets. They feel nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels, but without the high price tag of other luxury brands. I used to wake up in the middle of the night far too hot and far too uncomfortable, and that all changed when I found the Miracle Made bed sheets. So gang, upgrade your sleep as the weather heats up. Go to trymiracle.com/SauceStache to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you could save over 40%. And if you use promo code SauceStache at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/SauceStache and use code SauceStache to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/SauceStache to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this video and for every wonderful night of sleep.
Okay, these are done. They have dried out nicely over 3 hours. I'm gonna break them up into much smaller pieces by hand and then throw them directly into my cast iron pan. This is gonna take some time, but it will be worth it. Once they are done, I'm just gonna toss them onto the stove over a pretty low heat and continue agitating until they are a nice dark brown color. This took a few hours, to be honest. It was wild during the process how much these smelled very chocolatey and nutty. So once I'm done, I'm just gonna drop them into a bowl, allow them to cool down, and then directly right into the blender. I wish I had a flour mill because that would have worked so much better, but a high-speed blender should do the trick. I'm gonna start slow, speed up from there until it's a fine powder. Probably didn't get it as fine as I needed, but this should work. I'm gonna sift these and then start making our chocolate. In a double boiler, which is just a bowl on top of boiling water, I'm gonna add a half cup of cocoa butter, melt that, then add a quarter cup of sweetener, which here I'm just gonna use 1/8 cup maple syrup and an 1/8 cup of agave. Then a half cup of our tempeh powder. I'm gonna mix that in, let that cook for around 10 minutes before taking it off the heat and allowing it to cool while mixing. You could see here that this is much grainier than I would have wanted, but it's too late in the process now to adjust, so let's just see what happens. I'm gonna pour this into the molds, toss it into the fridge overnight.
Okay, so it's the next day. From looking at these, I could tell you my experiment, this version has failed. We're gonna try something else. You can see the solids sink to the bottom. It still might be good. I mean, this still could be tasty, but it's definitely not chocolate. Kind of curious, I do wanna give it a taste. I mean, it's not bad. There is a definitely a different taste. It's missing some of the elements. I don't mind it though. It's not a horrible taste. I think one of the biggest issues is the consistency of the powder. Wasn't able to get it fine enough. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to, because I don't have a mill, I'm gonna add it back to the blender and I'm gonna try again to see if I can blend it even finer. I'm just gonna kind of keep going.
This time I blended it fine. I ended up blending it on a very high speed for about 15 minutes, taking some breaks in between to allow it to cool down, but I got this into a powder. So let's make the chocolate again. We're gonna do the same process. I actually decided that I wasn't gonna use the agave, and this time I was gonna use allulose. So 1/8 cup allulose, 1/8 cup maple syrup, but everything else is gonna be the same. You could see once I added the chocolate, this was much thicker, far less grainy. It was all of the same amounts. This actually looks pretty good. I think we're still gonna have some separation issues, but not nearly as much. Let's toss it in the fridge and see what happens.
Okay, these look pretty good. I'm pretty excited about it. There is some of the fat on top, but not nearly like the other one. And it looks far smoother and much, much less grainy. These smell, there's a distinct smell to them, but wow, that is a legit looking chocolate bar. Super crazy. I am crazy stoked about that. Taste-wise, let me get Monica out here, baby. I mean, baby, wait till you see these.
Does it look like chocolate?
Look at that.
That's amazing.
Compared to, this is the one I made last night.
Yeah, no, that one looks a little crispy.
You don't have your microphone on.
Okay.
Let's just see. Ooh, okay, that broke pretty nice. Looks pretty nice. It's a nice little break there. It's not snapping because I didn't like temper it. So, cheers. Let's see. Is this chocolate? Wow.
This is amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
This tastes like chocolate.
I mean, there's some things missing, but
Right.
break it down.
Okay.
Like,
When you bite into it, it's not that like snap or that like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if crunch is the right word, but that like pop that you get when you just bite into chocolate. A little softer, almost like a soft chocolate.
but the texture is really because it's not tempered. Like,
The taste tastes like chocolate, and it has kind of that dark chocolate bitterness to it that I really like.
yeah, it's real rich. It is a little smoky.
I was gonna say, weirdly, it's got kind of like a coffee taste.
Yes, that's it. There is a bit of a coffee taste to it. This one's not nearly, it's not even close to the same, just because it's grainy.
Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, well, I tried it. That's why I moved on to the next version.
Yeah, this one tastes like it's got like quinoa in it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's grainy, but it's still good.
This really gives me some hope. Like, it doesn't have like the deep flavors of chocolate. And I think some of the ideas that I have for some other versions of like really fermenting some things might kind of give it that, but I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm really into it. And if you don't think about it, you just take a bite of it. Some of those like undertone, like chocolate tones are there.
Yeah.
Really cool. Really cool. I am digging that.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, there we go.
Smells good. Tastes like chocolate. I taste cocoa,
If you didn't know, you know, what it was
that
made
this
of,
was made out of beans.
yeah, you would think that it's chocolate.
Yeah, you'd never guess that.
And you'd say, that is the finest chocolate you ever ate. And you'd be, if you didn't know.
for real though, like, does
It does taste like chocolate, for sure.
Monica and I both said there was a little bit of like a coffee taste to it. You get that?
I do. I definitely did get a coffee taste.
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate.
Yeah,
You like if you didn't know.
right. If you
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
know,
you'd never know. I don't know what he did, Mark. Okay, there.